Hello knitters, welcome back to Rena Knits. Fall is almost over and winter is nearby. So I thought this week we'll learn how to create a leaf to say goodbye to fall and hello to winter. This leaf pattern can be done as just one or several, depending on how you want to do it.
To start off with, to knit this particular leaf pattern, what you want to do is you want to have 13 plus 6 stitches, so a total of 19 stitches. And to begin, if you're just beginning from the very beginning, from the very start of your project, you want to knit 5 rows before you start row 1. So once you've knit 5 rows, on your first row after that, so your 6th row, what you're going to do is purl 3, so these 3 are basically going to be your kind of like border around the leaf. Then you're going to purl 4, which is going to be part of the leaf pattern itself. Then you're going to do is K2 together. You're going to yarn over, you're going to knit 1, you're going to yarn over, you're going to remove, you're going to remove 1 stitch, you're going to knit 1, and you're going to take the removed one and pull it over the stitch that you just knitted. Then you're going to purl 4, and then you're going to purl the remaining stitches. Now for row 2, which is always going to be the back side, so all even rows are going to be the back side, you're going to knit 7, and then you're going to purl 5. So the ones that you yarned over, you're also going to purl. And then you're going to knit the remaining stitches, which are going to be the 7. Row 3, you're going to do is purl 3, which is your border, and then purl another 3, we're going to do K2 together, we're going to knit 1, yarn over, knit 1, yarn over, knit 1, remove 1 stitch, knit 1, move the removed stitch over, and then purl the remaining 6 stitches. Row 4, we're going to knit the knits, purl the pattern, and then knit the remaining knits. So we're going to knit 6, we're going to purl 7, and we're going to knit the remaining 6. Again, we're going to continue on with the pattern. So row 5, this time we're going to purl the first 3 and then 2. So we're going to purl 5. So the first 3 for the border and then 2. Then we're going to do K2 together. We're going to now knit 2. Yarn over, knit 1, yarn over, knit 2, remove 1 stitch, knit 1, and move stitch over the knitted stitch, and then we're going to purl the remaining 5. Row 6, we're going to continue with the pattern. So we're going to knit the knits and purl the purls. And we also purl the yarn overs. Row 7, we're going to continue. This time we're going to purl 4. Last time we purled 5. So 3 plus 2, this time it's going to be 3 plus 1. Then we're going to knit 2 together. We're going to knit 3 to get to this middle line that we're creating. Yarn over, knit that line, yarn over, knit 3, then we're going to remove a stitch. We're going to knit 1, we're going to move that removed stitch over the knitted stitch, and then we're going to purl the 4. Row 8, same thing. We're going to knit the knits and purl the pattern and then knit the knits. So it's going to be 4 knits on either side and purl in the middle. Row 9. So if you could see here that we've started creating that leaf pattern right here, which is this piece at the bottom that you see right here. And what we want to do is we want to create 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 holes on either side of that line that we're creating in the middle. So we want to create 6 holes to get that line. So we'll continue with the same pattern, the knitting pattern, to create that line. Our next row, what we're going to do is purl the 3 that are outside of the pattern itself, leaf pattern. Then we're going to purl 1. We're going to remove this stitch, knit 1, move this stitch over this stitch, knit the ones in between, then we're going to knit 2 together to get that closure here on this end. We're going to keep this in the back and we're going to purl the remaining stitches. And now the back side, we're going to knit the first 3, we're going to knit this 4th one, and then this one we're going to purl, And what we're going to do is purl the side so that we don't create a hole. And then we're going to purl the rest of the stitches. And here again, we're going to purl the side, doing it this way so that way we don't create a hole. And then we're going to knit the 4. And again, going to the right side, I'm going to keep doing the same thing to close the leaf. So now we're going to purl 4, 2, 3, and then we're going to purl 2, 1, 2, and then what we're going to do is leave this on this end, move the stitch over, knit 1, take the stitch that we moved over the other stitch, and then we're going to knit the ones in between. So this time it was 5 that we knitted in between, and we're going to knit these 2 together to make that closure, and we're going to keep this on this end, and we're going to start purling. The reason we do that is that we want to keep the same number of stitches on the needle, so we want to re-add 1 stitch as we remove 1 stitch, but we add it to the outside portion rather than within the leaf portion. So the back side, same thing. We're going to knit the knits and purl the purls, and the ones that we added, the yarn over ones, we're going to purl. Again, we do the same thing. So you're going to continue doing the same thing until you have no stitches left in between. So we're going to purl the first 3 as we normally do. Now we have 3 to purl from the 13 that we use for the leaf pattern. Then we're going to keep this on the side, remove 1 stitch, knit 1 stitch, take the removed stitch over the knitted stitch, and then knit the 3 in between. Then we knit 2 together to reduce 1, but then we keep this on this end and we purl the remaining stitches. And back side is the same, and we do the same again. As you can see, the leaf is starting to close, so we're getting closer to completing the leaf. So we're going to purl 3 that are part of the border, and then we're going to purl 4 this time. We're going to keep this yarn here. We're going to remove 1. We're going to knit 1. We're going to take the removed stitch over the knitted stitch, and then we're going to knit the 1 in between. We're going to knit 2 together. We're going to keep this yarn here, and we're going to purl. And then we're going to do the same on the back side. We're going to knit the knits and purl the purls. And we're also going to purl the yarn overs. And here we're coming to our last little bit. So we're going to purl till we get to our leaf. We're going to purl this one. We're here, we're going to keep the yarn in the front, move this over, knit one, take the removed stitch over the knitted stitch, and because this is that, we're going to just do a knit, and then we're going to purl the remaining. As you can see, we only had that one stitch, so now our last bit is the closure. So the back side first, we're going to knit the knit and purl the purls, and now we're going to finish off by knitting these two together. So we're going to purl till we get to those two stitches. And we're also going to do a yarn over because we want to keep the same number of stitches that we began with. Okay, we're going to keep this here. We're going to move this over. We're going to knit this. We're going to take this over the knitted, and then we're going to just purl the rest. The back side, we're going to knit the knit and purl the purls. Here we've completed our leaf. As you can see, it's closed up here, and this is our leaf. So now we could just purl all the way through and it will be finished. So this is our leaf pattern.
If you like this video, don't forget to click that like button. And if you're new, welcome. Don't forget to click that subscribe button to get the latest videos on knitting ideas, knitting projects, knitting patterns, and much more.